So what we're going to do today is we're going to bleed this wrap. This is a wrap off of a Suzuki Burgman. Traditionally with the RoadWing, which that's what this is, it's already been converted. You can see the bushings are new hole, it's been drilled off, it's cleaned up, ready to go. We typically will use a BMW wrap. Well, the Suzuki Burgman wrap works as well. The difference is you put the fluid in the side rather than the bottom. Typically with the BMW wrap, there's a hole here, and that's where your banjo bolt will screw to. And there is a plate that's in there that if this is all the way collapsed, you can push that plate down and it will allow you to get as much fluid in there so that you can get as much increase on your preload. Well, this is a lot different. And so we're going to walk through that today. Credit goes out to Chris Kohler. He's done these before. I know there's other guys that have done them too, but I'm talking with Chris, and he gave me some ideas on what to do, what he did to make it work, and so I'm going to talk to you about those today. So the first thing is we wanted to take this off, and I typically will like to hold the hose once I get it loose and screw the banjo bolt out. You'll notice that on both sides of this hose there is a copper washer, and that's the way you want to put it back together. I typically reuse these, I haven't had any issue. This, so that we don't lose any fluid, I will hang it up here, keep it higher. Now this, you can see there's fluid in it. I need to get that fluid out of there, so I'm just going to reuse it. This is brand new fluid, but I wanted to do a video to show you, so I'm just basically going to do this and screw it out. And you can see it slowly draining. And try to get as much of that fluid out of there as possible. You can see that draining. If that gets full, you just take one of your medicine syringes, fill it up. This is the cup that I traditionally use to fill up and add fluid to the shocks and the wraps. And so get that out as much as possible. What Chris suggested I do, take a 1/4 inch drill bit, get in here, I don't know if you can see in there, and drill it out. I've already done that, so I'm not going to show you, but it's just a 1/4 inch and it goes pretty easy. Just be careful, and then what you want to do is you want to make sure you get any debris out of there, because you don't want debris in here. And so now that silver plate that's in there, it's probably down here. We need to get it up here. And the way we're going to do that is with compressed air. And so I have my air compressor full of fluid, and all I'm going to do is give it a couple shots. Couple shots. I need to maybe turn up the air pressure. I was using this before, and for another job that required less air pressure, so I got to increase the PSI max here to get that plate back up there. First thing, back it all the way out. You can hear it clicking. All the way backed out. Now, I get it in here, it should make a difference. A little bit of insurance. Now what I want to do is just want to add some fluid back in here. And I should get at least most of this done. So I have a long syringe. This is a medicine syringe. I have a short one to cut it off. I'll show you what I use that for soon. Basically, just slowly get this back in here. If you go too fast, you're going to squirt yourself. It's going to get all over the place. But you want to keep this in a position so it doesn't leak out. Yeah, and see what I just did? Slowly. Suck some more of it up. Most of this should go right back in, including what I had in the cup already, because that's the whole point of what I'm trying to do, is add a little bit more. Nice and slow. I took 2 syringes. These syringes, of course, are looks like 10 mil. You get as much in as possible. And I usually will fill it right up so it's to the top of this. Okay, that tells me going too fast. I need more, which tells me that I needed more to begin with. And so we lost a little bit in transition. You know, you will fill up your hose with this. So this is what I use, and this is of course advertised on my website. 5-weight synthetic fork oil. This is something that I have to special order from my local O'Reilly's since they do not stock it. But usually only takes a couple days. Just continue to add. If I go nice and slow, you'll see that, yeah, this makes me really happy. Okay, so that's it. Now that's full. Now you want to put this in a position where it's not going to spill. And we can clean it up after. Now what I want to do here is I want to loosen this shock. The connection on the shock. And now use this short one. Just a little bit of fluid is all you need, and you don't need a bare finger for this. What we're trying to do is we're trying to bleed this of as much air as we can. So I usually will hold and press that, and then if you watch at the shock, you should start seeing a little bit of fluid come out. And there it is. And at this point, you want to hang it back up, and you want to tighten this baby up. I usually will tighten this so that it's facing down, because when it's on the bike, that's the way you want it to be. Get that nice and tight. You don't want to have anything loose. Clean it up. Put my glove back on just to ensure I don't get all messy. Clean it up as much as you can. Clean up the bolt, anything that, the banjo bolt. And this is key. You got to make sure that that's ready to go. Washer on one side. Add another washer on the other side. That will give you your seal. And I slowly thread the first part on, and then I just use my hand all the way. And with this one, depends on how it's going to be mounted on the bike. You're going to mount it backwards, upside down. So this one I'm not concerned myself as much with the direction, because the end user is going to end up removing it anyways. Key is you want to get it tight. And this one is nice to be able to do that. And now what we're going to do is you're going to see here. So now we're going to advance this. And I've got pressure. After half a turn, I've got pressure. And you can see it already starting. And so we're going to get more. I measured this before, and I was only getting about 9 mil. Now, if I measure it, 9 millimeters. Now, I'm getting about 12 millimeters. It's not bad for the Suzuki Burgman. But just under 12 millimeters, just right about at 12 millimeters. So, and you know, you can clean this up, doesn't matter. It's not, you know, the fluid that's in there. There's a seal that's inside of this. It's a couple seals, one on the inside, one on the outside. And that keeps the fluid in and out. And so there's nothing leaking. We're looking real good. And so that's basically how you do that. And I hope you enjoy the RoadWing, and ride safe.